Hello, my name is Isabel and I'm a 13-year-old girl. I live with my parents and my two younger sisters. Since I turned 12, I've started to notice how my body was changing as I was entering puberty. My skin wasn't as soft as it used to be, and acne started to appear on my face. On top of that, my body hair was more visible and excessive than ever before. Because of that, I developed an insecurity over the way I looked, that even staring at myself in the mirror made me feel like a hairy mess. But the worst part about this whole thing was that my mother wouldn't allow me to do anything about it. Every time I reached out to her for some guidance on how to deal with my excessive hair or my skin problems, her only response would be that I'm perfect the way I am, and there is no need to change anything. I was so frustrated. No matter how much I tried to explain to her that I would feel more comfortable if she would just allow me to shave or put some makeup on, she would start this talk about being comfortable with myself, regardless of my puberty side effects. How could she be so blind to the way I looked? It was obvious that I was one of those girls who needed extra body care, with my unibrow and moustache sticking out. It was just unbearable. To deal with my problem, I decided to drop by Monica's place every morning before school. Monica was my best friend, and she let me use her makeup. Having some makeup on always made me feel better about the way I looked. Additionally, Monica offered to help me get rid of my unibrow, and that alone made me feel much better. Going to school always required this effort, but at least I felt much more comfortable. That way no one from my friends really knew about what I'm hiding, including David, the boy I like in my class. We used to hang out a lot, and it was always fun when he's around. Until one day he commented that I looked pretty. You can't even imagine my excitement and happiness hearing that. But at the same time, I wondered if he'd think the same knowing how I really looked. Later that day, David came to ask me if I'd like to go with him to the pool party at the end of the week. I was so excited and quickly said yes. Oh, wait. What have I done? I can't go to a pool party and show off my hairy body. Even worse, getting in the water will wear off the makeup on my face. It was a nightmare. I couldn't believe that I agreed to this. I considered telling David that I can't go, but it was too late. He'd probably think that I don't like him and even consider going with someone else. Over my dead body. I decided to act as if I'm not in the mood to swim, and I wore a long white dress that covered my hairy legs. And as usual, I had my makeup on. When I went to the party, I saw everyone having a good time at the pool, and the water looked tempting. However, I told David that I wasn't feeling very well, and I'd like to stay dry for the rest of the day. He wasn't too pushy about it, and after a while he went to swim with the rest of our friends. However, my friends started shouting from the pool, telling me to join them. I said no with a shy smile, but they kept pushing. They started splashing me with water, and I ended up being dragged into the pool. Everyone thought it was funny, and they were laughing. But suddenly, the laughing stopped, and everyone looked at me as I stepped out of the pool and started crying uncontrollably. My makeup was smudged, my hair got messy, and worst of all, everyone could see how hairy my legs looked underneath the white dress. I quickly ran inside and I called my mom to come to pick me up. I waited for her outside without saying goodbye to anyone, not even to David. When she arrived and saw me crying hysterically, my mom looked very worried. I couldn't even look at her in the eyes. Everything was her fault and I was very angry. I started telling her how embarrassed I was today because of her stupid rules about loving my body the way it is. I screamed and cried all the way home. My mom, however, did not say anything. She said that she will talk to me when I calm down. I couldn't believe this was my life. I was humiliated not only in front of everyone I know, but also in front of my crush, David. And I hated my mom for it. After a while, my mother knocked on my room door. I told her to come in. She sat on the side of my bed and explained that she understands that I am angry with her, but there is something important she needed to say. She explained that when she was my age, her mother made her very self-conscious about her body when she hit puberty. She took my mom every week to the salon to get rid of her body hair. She always told her that girls who don't take care of that stuff are ugly, and that made my mother struggle with her body image, which got her to decide that she won't do that to me. As a result, she wanted to help me embrace my body the way it is, instead of making me feel good by undergoing a painful and unnecessary process. That moment, my anger started to fade. I could see where my mother's opinions were coming from, and honestly, she did have a point. I was very self-conscious about these things, to the point I forgot it doesn't reflect who I truly am. The way I approached this issue was unreasonable, and crying in front of everyone because of some hair on my legs was definitely an exaggeration. I should have been more confident in myself regardless of this, and it was the lesson my mother was trying to teach me all along. My mom then said that she hates to see me this upset, and told me that we can drop by the beauty salon right now if I want to. Surprisingly, I didn't care much about going to the salon anymore, even though I've been dying to go there for months. I told my mother that it can wait, and instead we decided to go out together and get some ice cream. As for David and the rest of my friends, they kept asking me what made me that upset, as they had no clue what went on. It seems like they didn't even notice. Did you like my story? Please share in the comments your experience with puberty and whether you can relate. And don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned with our daily animated stories.